All right, ladies and gentlemen, today we have a very short interview with one of our own. And this person is no one else but someone who is dear to my heart, someone who probably some of you know. And he's this young guy who loves to play soccer. He loved to play games. He loved his brothers and sisters. Sometimes he try to be more protective as big brother, and which of course is very appreciative. And today we are privileged to sit with him, and he will introduce himself when he comes. Some of you who knows him. Some of you who live in Liberia for a period of time, who interacted with me, you know him very well. And for the sake of this interview, I ain't gonna call his name until it's time for me to interview him. So those of you who for the first time following us, we want to say go to the Logan's Hour on YouTube and follow us. You will get more of these things coming up. Today is just about this young individual, and he's gonna come on right away and introduce himself. So with all due respect, I want to use this time to welcome to our channel here, no one else but Mr. Phil Logan. Welcome to the Logan's Hour. How are you, Phil Logan?
Good.
You can take a seat. Okay, now you have seen we have switched places. We have Mr. Phil Logan here with us. Mr. Phil Logan, feel comfortable while you're in our studio today. You can enjoy yourself. You can decide how you want to have fun with us today. And today we're going to be walking through very few issues, some of those things that you usually do, but it's just going to be just a shout thing for people that know you, those that don't know you. You can feel comfortable if you want water at any time. We can pause the interview, you get some water. Or if you would love to use the restroom, we have the restroom as well. Downstairs, we have our recording crew. We have this, thanks to our special guy behind the camera there. We want to say to all of you following us, we want to say thank you for joining us again. So let's go straight into it. Mr. Phil Logan, can you introduce yourself to us?
Hi, I'm Phil Logan.
Okay, so you just Phil Logan, and the people looking at you, you want to look at the people too and answer the questions as we ask those questions? Okay, call your name and look at our camera, please.
I'm Phil Logan.
Oh, Phil Logan. Okay, so I have some questions that I jot down for you, Mr. Logan. So how does it feel to be in the United States after moving from Liberia? How do you feel being in the United States?
It feels good, but it's boring.
It's boring. If you say boring, what do you mean?
This house is boring.
So it's boring up here, and in Liberia, how is it not boring? Because you have so many people on the street walking around, and people sell scratch card and other things disturbing on a daily basis. So what make it boring compared to Liberia?
It's too quiet.
So over here is more quiet than Liberia.
Yeah.
And you love the noise.
Not too much.
Not too much, but you prefer here than Liberia, or you prefer Liberia to here. Where do you prefer?
Right now, I prefer Liberia than you.
Why?
Because at least I have people to talk to more than you.
You have what?
People to talk to more.
Oh, so okay, I understand his point. So he's saying that in Liberia he have more people to have communication with, and I think people following us here say you are not more audible, so you can just raise your voice a little so they can hear you to know exactly what you're trying to say. All right, so we understand. He said Liberia, you have more people to talk to, you have more people that interact with you on a daily basis. Yes, that's true. I'm a Liberian. I was born and raised in Liberia, and I know how you said your child is my child. The community belongs to everybody. So over there, you have more people to interact with on a daily basis compared to the United States, that you have very few interactions with people except you in the church or in a social gathering or in a school club or whatever for you have people to talk to. But other than that, people even in your community, all they do to you is just to say hi and bye. All right, so that's a good answer, Mr. Phil Logan. So since moving to the United States, what have been your biggest adjustments so far?
Cold.
Uh-huh.
Making new friends.
Okay, you can feel free at any time if you want to expand on any of these things you're saying, though. Make yourself feel comfortable. You in our studio, feel comfortable, and let's have this conversation. What have been some of your bigger achievements? You say adjustment. You said it cold. Why? Over Liberia is not that cold, and over here is a little cold for now, right? Because it's not into winter yet, though.
Yes, the
Which
house can be cold,
okay.
and in the
Hmm.
morning,
Hmm.
the weather can be a little cold.
Okay, a little cold, and so adjusting is it's not a problem for you because sometimes I see you in the morning wearing short pants.
Yeah, because I don't know. I just feel like the way I want to wear.
All right, so those of you following us, Phil is this guy with a little words, so you won't expect him to talk more in terms of explaining those various areas that he spoke of. But yet instead, we're going to continue with Mr. Logan today as we go. So, Mr. Logan, how do you like your new school so far? And by the way, which school are you in?
I'm in the North Central High School.
Oh, North Central High School. So, how do you like your new school so far?
It's pretty good.
Hmm.
Um, I like my classes.
Okay.
Um, Making new friends is a bit difficult, and having conversation with people is also a bit difficult because most of them say they don't understand me when I'm talking, and I still have my Liberian accent, so sometimes I have to repeat myself like 4 to 5 times.
Oh, so basically, because of your accent, you find it a little more difficult while dealing with them.
Yes.
Okay. So, tell us about the classroom setting compared to where you're from, compared to Liberia.
Um, we're not much in the class, and it's always quiet. Compared to Liberia, most time your class is noisy, and you don't find much people paying attention.
Hmm.
And learning process is sometimes difficult and easy, but you still get to have fun.
Okay. So, looking at Liberia, I don't know if all of the schools have the same setting where you have the class though have the class name over it 9192, and here from ninth grade is considered high school, and you have a setting like a university, like where you have to pick your own classes and go to your classes at when the time comes. So how is that working for you so far? Adjusting to that kind of environment.
Um, I go to the same class every day, so I just find the easiest road to get to my next class
Hmm.
as quick as possible before I get late. Because if you get late more than 5 times or 4 times, you get detention,
Okay.
and detention is a bad place for you to be. So you have to get to your class in like 2 minutes because you only have 5 minutes to get to the next class. So I just find the easiest road for me to go faster, and that's it.
All right. Thank you so much for that beautiful answer. So he said the setting is a little different because from one class to another class, you have few meetings to get to your class and you have to be on time for that class. That's a brilliant answer, Mr. Logan. So let's talk about your favorite subject. I know back in Liberia, you were doing more subjects compared to here. So can you tell us how many subjects were you doing in Liberia, and coming here, how many subjects are you doing currently, and what's your favorite subject in school?
In Liberia, I
Hmm.
was doing 10 subjects,
10 subjects.
and here I'm doing, I think, 4 or 5 subjects.
Oh, 5 subjects because you're not considering PE as well.
Yeah, five
Oh, okay.
subjects.
So Liberia, you're doing 10, and over here you're doing 5. So that's a big difference in between. 5 subjects have been eliminated. So tell us about your best subject in school.
When I was in Liberia, my favorite subject was geography, but
Okay.
when I came here,
Mm-hmm.
I started doing new subjects like Spanish and more history. So right now, My favorite subject is Spanish because I want to learn a different language.
Hmm. That sound a little weird though. You don't Spanish and you love Spanish compared to the other subjects because I think looking at your schedule, what are those subjects you have? You have English,
Um,
algebra, biology,
what
war
history?
history, and PE.
Yes,
That's the five you don't. So of those five subjects, you love Spanish the most.
yeah.
Okay. So you can speak Spanish or you will learn how to speak Spanish to get along. All right, so that's good. That's adjustment so far coming to his school. Now we're about to come to his activities, some of what he loves so bad. So let's talk about your passion. Let's talk about your passion. Sometimes, what I've noticed about you, you love soccer. Tell us, what do you love most about soccer?
Scoring goals and dribbling and interacting with your teammates.
Okay.
It's fun.
So you love to score goals and
Yeah.
you love to dribble.
Yes.
Hmm. So okay, then if you love to score goal, you love to dribble. Then who's your favorite player and why?
Cristiano Ronaldo
Cristiano Ronaldo. Me too. I love him. So why?
because he's the GOAT.
He's the greatest of all time. So
And
what are those things you like about him?
um, he's pretty much respectful. Um, he's like a physical guy who loves to train
Hmm.
and work out. Um, he is cool goals. Um, I think so far that's it.
Okay. So he said he's physical. So I hope you gonna be physical too, though. All right. So let's talk about. Have you joined a soccer team in the U.S. so far since you came?
No.
No, not yet, because you want to adjust first before you can do that.
Yes.
Okay. So far he hasn't. But you've been playing soccer since you came. I know, though.
Yes.
And tell us about your experience with some of the games that you have played so far.
Um, sometimes on Saturday, practice with the old
Indiana
timer.
old timer.
Yes.
Okay.
And I enjoy playing with them.
Okay. So we're gonna ask the last question on sporting and his passion. Then we're gonna go on cultural differences. So let's talk about the last question on a sporting here. Do you dream of becoming a professional player
Yes.
someday?
Yes.
So the man have a big dream. He want to become a professional player sometimes in the future. Okay, let's go to cultural differences. So, what has been the most surprising thing about the United States, the American culture so far? What has shocked you? What has been surprising since you came to the
The
American culture?
election.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Tell me about that election. What surprised you about the election in the United States?
um, it's pretty. The election doesn't look like an election.
Why?
It's pretty like quiet and
That's
and
true though. Mm-hmm.
and you don't really know if there's an election because you when you see people talking on TV,
Mm-hmm.
then compared to where I'm from, where when there's an election coming up, you see people on the street that sit and say, "Oh, vote for this person, vote for that person."
And,
Here
and
is
so far, you haven't seen that. You
yes,
haven't seen anybody come to your house and say, "Hey, I want you to vote for my candidate."
yes,
And when you walk in the street, you don't see nothing about election.
no,
So it's like nothing going on.
yeah,
I love that answer, and that's true though. Comparatively, when I first got over here, it was the same for me because I came here during the election every year, and it was like nothing going on. I was confused. I asked a lot of questions. I said, "Hey, what is going on?" Yeah, election is next month, and surprisingly, on the day of the election, we want to work, and a lot of people are working and they don't care about going to vote. So that's a good observation too. I like that. All right, so let's talk about uh, how do you compare the Liberian and the American food?
um,
I know you love to eat,
like real food is the best.
but do you love to eat?
Yes,
Do you rarely sit down and eat a big bowl?
yes,
Really? Or you like this guy who just eats small, 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 small?
more of that guy who eats much more.
Okay, go ahead.
Um, food comparison. America do have good restaurants and fast food places,
Mm-hmm.
but African foods are always the best and will always be the best, especially Liberia,
Mm-hmm.
because we have different choices compared to here where you gonna get to eat hamburger, French fries, pizza, one of those um American stuff
Mm-hmm.
compared to African food where you get to see goat meat, cow meat and different other meats in your food,
Chicken feet. And you hear
chicken
you still
feet.
have chicken feet though.
Yeah, but compared to the one,
That you miss so much back home.
yeah, you get to eat the whole like perfectly, then your waist like cut in half.
All right. That's a good answer. That's a good answer. Trust me, I like that. All right. So let's talk about what do you miss most about Liberia?
Most,
Mm-hmm.
I'll say my friends.
Your camera people looking at you though. What do you miss most about Liberia?
Um,
And take into consideration this interview going to be live. People are going to watch it. Years to come, 10 years from now, 15 years from now, your friends in Liberia are going to also watch this interview. So honestly, what do you miss really, really much about Liberia? The most, what do you miss the most?
I would say
Mm-hmm.
I miss a lot of things, but
Mm-hmm.
the most maybe it'll be um the interaction with people.
Okay.
Um, my friends, my mom, my grandma, my auntie, my family. Um, the food, a lot of plenty of stuff, but mostly those are the stuff I miss the most.
Okay. So let's talk about personal growth. This is very important for today's conversation. So now you are in the United States. What do you hope to achieve while living in the United States?
Mm, I'll say
I know there's a whole lot more you want to achieve. You want to get a PhD, you want to get this, you want to get that, but just prioritizing those key ones for the sake of time. What are those things you love to achieve before while you're in the United States?
people knowing me
Mm-hmm.
and making more interaction with people.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Now you say people knowing you. If you say people knowing you, in what sense? You know, negative or a positive
where
sense. Mm-hmm.
I get to be popular and everybody gets to know my name
So
and say, "Oh, yes,
how do you want people to know your name if you say it that way? You want to do
um,
something so special that nobody else is doing that people are gonna remember you for that? Is that what you meant?
yes,
Okay. So you get a clue of those things that you have in mind.
maybe
Mm-hmm.
IT,
IT. So you want to be an IT specialist and specialize in a certain field like AI. Well, nobody else is doing currently.
yes."
Okay, that's good. That's good. All right. So let's talk about since we on personal growth. How do you handle challenges or difficulties in your new environment? What are those things that you've been handling that you felt was so difficult for you? How do you handle those things?
One was my school, but
Mm-hmm.
um, I pretty much know how to do stuff around there now,
Okay.
and living with siblings
Mm-hmm.
is pretty much kind of annoying sometimes, but it's good.
Mm. Okay. So since we're on personal growth, so you care to tell us about your goals for next year? What are your goals for next year? Since next year going to be the year that you have adjusted so far, what are some of your goals?
Next year, I pray to get on a football academy or
Mm-hmm.
a football soccer team and improve my skills. Get a scholarship.
Hmm. A scholarship for scholars though, so I hope you
Yeah,
are a scholar.
a scholarship from playing soccer or from just my lesson.
Okay.
And maybe put little work with the
Okay.
process in what I'll be doing.
Okay, that's good. So let's go to your siblings and your family so far. So tell us about how do you like living with your brothers and your sisters in the United States?
It's pretty good. At
Hmm.
first, it was kind of bad because I was getting to know them better and see what they like and what they don't like.
Hmm.
And so far, I've already made my favorite and
Hmm.
my least favorite.
Uh oh. Uh oh.
So
That's bad. Don't say it on camera because tomorrow this recording gonna go thousands of years and everybody else gonna grow up and become big and somebody gonna say, "Oh, he said it before that I was his least favorite." So I advise you don't mention who's your favorite and who's your least favorite.
yeah, I wasn't going to,
Okay. Okay.
but I was just saying I got my favorite and my least favorite.
I like that. I like that. So, what's the best part about having your siblings here with you?
Mm, giving them instructions.
As a big brother too, though.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
Mm,
Changing diapers.
no,
You don't like that one.
no,
Smelling poop on your fingers.
no.
And which one again?
Um, put them to bed.
Oh, that's sweet. Reading bedtime story as well.
I only did that once, but yeah.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Okay, let's do this again. Do you guys have any favorite activity or game you people play together?
So I love to play a lot of games,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't know which one is her favorite. But she always like to play. Let's play tag and other games. Mazo
Mm-hmm.
like to eat a lot,
Ah,
and he just loves attention. Same as Zoro. PJ is like the best.
okay.
He's
Quiet.
quiet, peaceful, doesn't cry much. You can better even tell if he's in the house because he's so quiet and the cutest.
That's fine. So you guys do a lot of things together. You guys do sometimes trampoline and go to the park together. And
Yeah.
yeah. All right. So let's talk about the biggest challenges. After talking about the good side, we're going to talk about the challenges. So, what's the biggest challenges of living with your siblings?
Sometimes they don't follow instructions,
Hmm. And that's a hard one.
and when you try telling them stuff,
The
then they
cry.
try to cry or yell back.
And the cry is annoying.
Yes.
Oh my god. Okay, so let's talk about your siblings. So how do you think your siblings have helped you to settle in better? How did they help you to settle in better? Because I think they make you feel more comfortable, make you have activities. Because I guess you have never lived with any of your siblings.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. What's something funny that have happened between you and your siblings?
Was Miles when Miles ate a spicy food and he didn't know it, and then started doing "Stop, Daddy." That was really funny. And when Zora fell down once from on the bed
Hmm.
and started crying, it was pretty funny because I told her to stop, and she was like still doing it. So
Okay, so looking at your siblings, you care to name them? How many siblings do you have, and what are some of the differences you notice within each individuals?
um, I have three siblings.
Mm-hmm.
Mm, Zora is the oldest. Miles is like the middle one,
Mm-hmm.
and PJ is the youngest
Mm-hmm.
of them all. Zora is the kind of like crybaby.
Mm.
She always crying. She's pretty fun to play with too, but she always crying. Miles is the same but slightly different because he's you want to cry, but certain stuff for like few stuff. Like if you like keep like disturbing him, he start crying. PJ PJ is the adorable one. He's quiet. Um he doesn't cry
Hmm.
much. The only time you better see him cry unless he's hungry, and that's it.
That's beautiful. To individually distinguish what one's love and not, and you were able to monitor and carefully observe your siblings. I'm a little proud of you. Okay, so let's talk about the bonding side of it. Um, is there is there something you are teaching your siblings about Liberia? Is there anything to tell them about how Liberia look and this is your country and though you were born here? What are those things you have taught your
Right
siblings?
now,
Hmm.
I haven't taught them nothing about Liberia because um these American schools are making kids to think that Africa is more of like a bush place and people speak kind of language I don't know how to do it, but keeps making it look like, oh, Africa is not fun. But I would say Africa is like the best continent in the world, and people should go there and see how it looks for
So
themselves.
you, you
People
you you said
making
something very
thoughts.
interesting just now. You said the American schools make people to think that, or makes the children to think that Africa is this place where people speak this weird language and it's just a continent by itself. So have you experienced some of that in school? Someone have asked you about something
Yes,
weird about Africa, and what are those things?
like my first and second day of school,
Hmm.
there's like these two guys that sit right next to me.
Hmm.
They're like pretty noisy,
Hmm.
and they tried talking to me, and I wasn't really paying attention. Then they asked me where you from. I said I was from Africa. Then they started saying words like I was like, what's that? I don't understand that. Then they're like, but you guys speak that in Africa, right? I was like, no, we don't. Maybe some countries, some lower interior countries speak those, but where I'm from, I speak English. Um, I'm from a gun country, so where you guys land that from? And then he said, yeah, what's up that? And he started asking me questions about, do you eat fufu? I said yes, it's a pretty good dish. And then he started asking me plenty of questions. Have you seen a lion? Have you seen a lion? I said yes. And then he asked me again, have you touched a lion? I said no. He said,
You
do you
find that
guys?
interesting? How can someone ask you, have you touched a lion?
Yes. And then he asked me again, do you guys hunt the lions and elephants? I like, um, not really. Only few people goes to hunt for food, like those lower country that don't have much resources,
Hmm.
but have much animals and food and stuff, but they are raw. So
Hmm.
then he started asking me, do you have bowl and arrows at your house? I was like, no. Then he asked me again, do you wear clothes in Africa? I said, what do you expect me to wear? And then it started making me mad because I wasn't getting why they were asking strange questions like that.
Hmm.
Like Africa is like a butch continent, like a place where people go and don't wear clothes and hunt lions down to eat. So it was pretty annoying and kind of confusing, and it was making me mad. So I just told him, get your computer,
And
type Africa, and study more about it.
and don't ask me all
Uh,
of those questions when you got Google.
yes,
I like that. That's the response I would have given anybody if you ask me no kind of question. I'll be like, okay, do you have Google on your phone? Yes. Can you tap Africa, specifically Liberia, and see what do we do there? Yep, that's a good answer. Okay, so the last question we're going to ask about your siblings because we are running down. We are running down. So the last question we're going to ask about your sibling. So how do how do you show love and care for your siblings?
I give them what they like, but not everything because you can't have everything at once.
Mm-hmm.
You have to wait. Sometimes we play, have fun, but when it comes to serious matter, I tell them like when I follow instructions, tell them to have some um time to stop doing what they're doing,
Mm-hmm.
and that's pretty much it.
Okay, that's a good one. That's a good one. All right, so let's go to some fun question now because we're about to close in. We're closing down now, so we're gonna ask some fun question. If you could play soccer with any celebrity, who would it be?
Cristiano Ronaldo.
Cristiano Ronaldo, of course. I predicted that answer. Okay, what's your favorite thing to do besides playing soccer?
Play video games and talk to my friends from Liberia.
Video games and talk to friends from back home. If you could travel anywhere in the world, where would that place be?
I would say Portugal
Portugal. Why?
because I would like to see where my goat is ready from and study about that country.
Okay. What's your favorite American food?
Pizza.
Pizza. Hell to the no. All right, then let's go to our closing. Uh, what message would you like to share with kids back home in Liberia?
I would say stay good, don't do drugs, focus on your education, and follow the instructions your parents will give you. And one day maybe you might get a chance to come here too.
That's a beautiful one. I like that. What advice would you give to other kids moving to a new country?
Go there, follow their rules, follow their instructions, listen to what the people there tell you to do.
Hmm.
Stay out of trouble because the smallest stuff you do can get you in the biggest trouble ever.
Okay.
And that's it.
Okay. Is there anything you would like to say to your friends, family, or whoever is watching?
Um, for my friends and
Family or
family back
whoever that is
home,
watching. Hmm.
want to say I miss ya. Pray to come back some days and see ya. But everybody stay good, protect yourself, and that's it.
And what are those things you love about your daddy, and what are those things you dislike about your daddy?
Um, I'll get to this life first. He's annoying.
Your daddy is annoying.
Um,
Annoying. When you say annoying, what do you mean when you say your daddy is annoying? That's an interesting one.
like the interview right now. I didn't want it to be you. He forced me.
Okay,
But
and what again?
he's always whiny.
He's whining. His whining is not genuine whine. And
Um,
what is it he whine about?
like the smallest stuff.
Uh-huh.
Like, um,
But I guess he want you to do the right thing, though.
yes.
That's why he keep putting pressure.
Yeah.
And you hate him putting pressure because he want you to do the right thing.
Yeah.
Sometimes you feel you already understand what he want you to do, but because he's
But
overemphasizes, you got to do it right now. I want you to do it right now. And that's the part you don't like.
yeah.
Okay, then what do you like about him? I guess I want to mean he's a sweetheart. He's a good guy.
He's cool. He's the best daddy
In a word.
in the world.
Oh my goodness.
He's a good guy. But sometimes he's just pretty much straight.
Oh man, you hit him being so straight.
Mm, sometimes, but it is what it is. Um, yeah.
All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, Father also wants to thank you again. Thanks for joining Logan's Hour, and we're in conversation with our main man, Phil Logan. It was a pleasure having you here today. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks to everyone who followed us today.